For the parents, if you cannot give the answer correctly, I would invite you to go back home. No, just kidding.
Does it include Hawaii and Alaska?
No, without Hawaii and Alaska, only the mainland. Okay.
Wait,
Why not Indonesia?
I give the opportunity for the lady. So what is your answer?
Indonesia.
Indonesia. How can you be so sure?
Because, yeah, like I've seen like it overlaid before.
Okay.
The map, and it's like way wide compared to the U.S. So
Yeah, correct.
I've seen it overlaid before. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. This is your opportunity. The reason why I give this question.
Give one.
Well, I
Yeah,
get
take one.
Take one.
Take one.
Okay. Pick the iPhone one. There's an iPhone.
iPhone? Which one?
The reason why I give this question is to give you the insight about the comparisons between Indonesia and America. That our country is not smaller than America. America is one of the biggest country in the world, but also Indonesia is. Just to give you a little bit of background about Indonesia in terms of the strategic locations, it is located in between Pacific and Indian Ocean, in which half total world container pass through Indian Ocean every year, and 2/3 of the total world oil cargo per year is going back and forth from that locations. So it just gives you the idea of how important Indonesia is. America is one of the very important country in the world, but also Indonesia. But bear in mind that Indonesia is also as important as other country, including America. Quiz number 3. Rough number. What is the number of the Indonesian population?
Can we Google?
300 million.
Don't go googling.
4 billion?
300.
4 million. Good try.
300 million.
Yes.
230 million.
Too far.
300 million.
Too far.
Oh, it's the closest one.
No, it's just to the closer number of the exact number of the Indonesian population right now.
Okay, 210.
210 or 210, not 210.
60 million.
210.
According to Ramai.
200?
60 million.
260 million, correct. Yeah, I think all of us here in America should look back to Indonesia to see about the growing number of the population of Indonesia. Remember that Ramai Lama last time, the first time when he was singing the song of the
150, right?
125 million. I think it was back then 20 years ago or 30 years ago, but now the population of Indonesia is already more than 260. I believe it is around 265 million. Pak Amang does not take this gift, so it may go to
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Pak Amang. So for those of you who don't really follow Indonesia, I just want to give you the idea about how diverse Indonesia is. We have more than 17,000 islands. Around that islands, maybe around 6,000 islands inhabited, and the rest are not populated. So it is empty islands. But with that archipelagic country features, we have more than 17,000 islands. Compared to America, America has only one big island, and also small islands like Hawaii, like Guam, and also some other very small islands in the Pacific. But for Indonesia, we have 17,000 islands, and also from that 17,000 islands, from 260 million of the populations, we are so diverse that we speak almost 700 different local languages, Just to give you the idea how difficult to maintain Indonesia if we don't unite as a one country, and also we are unified by the one of the unifying language as the Bahasa Indonesia. And also we have more than 300 different ethnic groups that makes life in Indonesia is so colorful, because like for example myself is from Bali and Pak Safrin is from Jakarta, from Betawi, and also Pak Amang is coming from Sunda, yeah. And if we speak our own language, of course we will be lost in translations. What is the current development in Indonesia in terms of just a very rough, just very brief economic statistic at the moment, that our real GDP growth for the 2018 for the quarter one is 5.1%, in which it is Indonesia is one among the few countries who are very successfully making a good progress in terms of the economic development compared to other countries, like even compared to America. America's economic growth is not more than 4%. And also the gross capital fixed formation grew the fastest in more than 5 years. That is the data from the World Bank in 2018. Now I would like to speak a little bit about the Indonesian foreign policy. You know, the reason why I bring this issue to this forum is because there is a tendency that the issue of the foreign policy is only discussed by the elite. That it seems to be that people not really pay attention on what is Indonesia doing at the global level. And I'm trying to bring this into the hands of the youth, particularly to the youth, but also for all of us who are attending this Muktamar. The focus of the Indonesian foreign policy for the 2014-2019 is R4. It is talking about how Indonesia to protect the Indonesia's sovereignty, that Negara Kesatuan Republik Indonesia, or the unitary form of the Indonesia, is our main goal. That any situation that would be not in favor for our unity will be of our paramount importance to deal with. And also the second one is protecting Indonesian and also legal entities abroad. Maybe all of you has been exposed to so many news about how the Indonesian government and also the Indonesian embassies and consulates are trying our very best to protect the Indonesian citizen abroad. Just like usually, especially in the country where more Indonesians are living. And also about the economic diplomacy, and the last one is about the roles of Indonesia at the regional and international level. Regional and I will give some more attention on the regional and global roles. Some key points. We are talking about ASEAN. Is there anyone knows about what ASEAN is?
It's the 11 countries of Southeast Asia.
How do you know it is 11?
I heard about it.
Okay. Can you tell us who are the 11 countries?
Brunei, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam.
And Myanmar. You said
Myanmar.
yeah, Myanmar. Timor-Leste is not yet a member of the ASEAN, but they are aspiring to become one of the member of ASEAN. The process is still ongoing, and we will see what the future will tell us about their membership. Oh yeah, you got to give. Please. Congratulations. Not many youth knows about the ASEAN. This is incredible that you know about the ASEAN. Congratulations.
Thank you. How did you end up finding out? Curious about it?
Oh, I work for the UN.
Oh, you work for the UN?
You work for the UN. Okay, that's good. So now the second question. Now the second question is for you because you are working with the United Nations. Oh, welcome. Welcome to the youth.
Okay, thank you. Question.
It's good for
$100 if you-
Yeah.
In the United States.
Yes. Come on, answer question. If you got $100.
Welcome. Welcome. Hopefully that you have finished your gingerbread competition. Is that correct? Okay. At this point, I would love to touch upon the issue of the ASEAN and also about the United Nations, our roles on the issue of the Palestine, and also about the peacekeeping mission. Okay.
Great? Is it great?
Sorry.
Oh, no.
No, we are talking about the quiz number 4 now.
Ah.
Okay, for those who just arrived into this really crowded room, this is the question.
Indonesia.
Who is our foreign minister, Indonesian foreign minister at the moment?
Ibu siapa yuk? Ibu siapa?
I give you clue, it's a woman.
She is a lady.
Yes, I feel.
She's very smart and very strong personality, and also very famous.
Wait, we're talking about Indonesia here.
We are talking about Indonesia now, not talking about the United States. So do not Google the name. Because whatever in Google is not really always correct, yeah. So, does anyone know who is the foreign minister of the Indonesia now? There are two more gift available from the Indonesian embassy. So if you don't know about this, I will call your dad. Yeah.
Boleh nama mama deh.
Sorry?
Boleh nama mama tanya.
Boleh? Boleh tanya papanya. Yes, Ibu. Bisa berikan? Can you give the full name? Okay. Her famous name is Retno Marsudi. Okay, Ibu. So you could get this gift. Congratulations. Okay, the Indonesian foreign minister at the moment is a lady, and I'm glad. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, either one. I'm glad the one who could give the name of the Indonesian foreign minister is a lady. So, parents, I would love to give you 3 pictures. This is talking about the Indonesian roles at the very at the one of the crisis that we face for the last 2 or 3 years. It is in Myanmar crisis. The first picture is Ibu Retno, the foreign minister, is the only foreign minister who were given the access from the government of Myanmar to visit the Rohingya shelter at the Cox's Bazar in Myanmar. I was so privileged to have that opportunity as well to visit that place when the foreign minister visited Cox's Bazar. So during that moment, we found there are so many Rohingyas who were who are not in really good conditions, but we were trying to solve the problem because the problem is quite complex. where Indonesia is trying to give some kind of the ideas on how to give the solution for that issues. The Foreign Minister Retno is also having opportunity to meet with the Do Aung San Suu Kyi to discuss about the issue, and also with the late former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. The meeting with the late Kofi Annan was held in New York. Actually, the picture was taken by myself. We discussed about the finding that was found by the study took place in March 2016. So I think from that moment we had quite good progress on how to solve the problem. So I just want to let you know that Indonesia is playing very big roles and also important roles on how to handle the crisis. On the roles in ASEAN, especially on the South China Sea. I don't know if you guys follow the issue of the South China Sea. Is there anyone who follow the issue of this on the South China Sea?
That was Property Island.
No. It is about the overlapping claims by some countries in which if we don't pay attention, it might be creating some turbulence in the regions that will affect Indonesia as well. So what we are doing was that our foreign minister, Indonesia, through our foreign minister, was so engaged with her counterparts from the foreign ministers of ASEAN, trying to find a solution on how to deal with the issue. And also the foreign minister now at the same level, having a very close communication with the foreign minister China. Is there anyone knows who is the foreign minister of China? So for those who are able to find his name, not Jack. So his name is maybe not ringing bells to the Indonesian. His name is Wang Yi. Yeah. So the global roles. So for the lady who are working at the United Nations, could you explain the roles of Indonesia in the United Nations based on your experience?
Well, Indonesia just got elected to become one of the Security Council members starting in January.
Wow.
And it's basically it's gonna have a 2-year term, and it's gonna be helping make the decisions with the most most of the political agendas like worldwide and have a decision on basically.
All right.
That's all I know.
Okay, good, very good. So just one little additional information that we are elected not as the UN Security Council member, but to be more precise, non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. Because the 5 permanent members are those who are having a veto rights: United States, Britain, Russia, France, and also China. Yeah. So we are going to be the non-permanent member of the United Nations, in which we will be able to pay more attention on the development in all over the world in terms of how to preserve peace and stability around the globe. Who knows the issue about the Palestine? Who wants to volunteer to give their view, his or her view, other than the lady who is working for the United Nations? The issue of Palestine. What do you know about this? No problem. So this is the issue of how the one country in the Middle East who are being occupied by other countries and now is trying to find their independence. So for those of you who are not used to this issue, I would love to share with you that Indonesia is trying to to give their ideas and help to support the Palestine to give their independence from the Israel.
People already independence before Israel state.
Yeah, but the reality now is they are being occupied by the Israel, so they need to become the independent one time. Okay, the last part, the next part is about the Indonesian roles with the peacekeeping missions. I don't know if you are aware of this, but Indonesia is one of the countries who are very active in preserving peace in every corner of the world. We are sending the peacekeeping missions. I don't know if you are coming from the military family, that we are sending the military officers to all those turbulent area to help them to find solutions on the situations. That is to show that Indonesia is one of the countries who is really, aspire for to making peace around the globe. We are hoping that in 2019 we will be able to send 4,000 personnel that will help making peace in Africa, in the Middle East, and also in some part of the continents who are still trying to find the solution of their conflict. Now, this is mainly about you. I wrote here diplomacy. All Indonesians are diplomat. What does it mean?
Of course, we are because we are Indonesians to introduce Indonesian anyway.
Good. Other views?
You Indonesian or American? No, just kidding.
To spread the word, all Indonesians must have to know what is the country, the people, what is the everything about Indonesia to other people who don't understand the Indonesia. Like American people who doesn't know about it, they only know what island Bali, but he doesn't know about Indonesia. So that's our duty to explain to them what is Indonesia. Say, like how is the government, what is and then how the people of Indonesia, how many, like you say to people, is how many islands, how about everything about Indonesia.
It's very good. So, has any one of you, when you were with your friends, and then when you are in conversations with the new friends, you are seen as Filipinos or Thais or Vietnamese?
Spanish.
Who?
Spanish.
Spanish. And how would you respond with that?
Indian.
Indian.
Also,
Yeah, Filipinos. So I would love to hear your response. How do you respond to that wild guess from your friends?
What? Like, oh no, I just say I'm from Indonesia. They don't know what that is. So I
Oh
just,
yeah?
You know, like Malaysia. Yeah.
Di mana tuh Pak?
Okay, so this is the real situation here in America. Not only in America, but also I studied in England in 2007 for my master degree, and when I visited one city called York, it's very small, remote city in the northern part of England. I was asked by a lady. And my wife was wearing a hijab, and the question was, "Are you from Bangladesh? Are you from Pakistan?" And when I said that I'm from Indonesia, she didn't know where Indonesia located is.
Yeah.
So this is the next question is, for those who are not born in America, is there anyone from the youth who are not born in America? Okay, so the question is, how do you know America? Where did you get the information from about America from? From movie?
How do I know America?
Yeah, how do you know America?
Do I mean, I was only 4. Before I came, I didn't. I was 4 when I came. I
She
didn't
was
really know
four.
about it.
She was 4 here when you.
I was 4 when I was born in Indonesia.
Okay.
And then I was 4 when I moved here. So I learned English through like Sesame Street.
Right.
So that's like my first experience.
Okay. So how do you know Indonesia then?
How do I know Indonesia?
Yeah.
No, I went to high school in Indonesia for 2 years, so I'm like very connected.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. So you said that you were born not
Yeah,
in
I was born in Jakarta, and I moved in 2005. I was like 6 years old. So I know a little bit of like I know less English, but I know a lot more English because I learned it through like a program at college.
Okay. So how do you know America? How do you know America? Is that from your dad or from other sources?
This is the first time I hear about America.
First time I heard about America was before we came. My dad went to America first.
Okay. Right. So this is the reason why I put diplomacy. All Indonesians are diplomat. The first time I know America is from
Dia masakkan ikan kepada orang.
Coca-Cola.
Diplomatnya dengan cooking dokter.
The first time I know America is from McDonald's. The first time I know America is from Hollywood. So I don't know America from the I know America not from the US Embassy in Jakarta, no. I know America not from Barack Obama, no. Barack Obama was only emerged in 2004, I think, before he was elected in 2008. So what is crucial here is that all of you who are now in America has to carry on to explain to your friends, to your peers, to your teachers, to everyone here in America about Indonesia in order to make Indonesia in order to make the American knows about Indonesia, because it is very important. This is very important. Why? Because the way they see the country is based on the way they understand from the first hand. If they just knew it from the book and also from the materials from the newspapers, they don't get the sense of what the Indonesia really is. Like for example, if there was bomb terror in Indonesia, what they learn is only from the newspaper that the threat in Indonesia is really big, while it happens anywhere in the world, right? So there are other sections of Indonesia that they must know as well. So this is why I put that all diplomats, all Indonesians are diplomats. So that is that will help us to discuss more of the issue in a more strategic and also comprehensive way. Okay, I will continue first here. This is the relations. Last time on November 2018, the notions of all diplomats, all Indonesians are diplomats, are ensured by the meeting in the Capitol Hill. There was a forum, Intelligence and Security Parliament Forum on November 2018. One of the speakers said that in the future, the non-state actors, so other than people from the embassy like me, will play very crucial roles in shaping the relations between two countries. If you could give a positive impact to the community, if you could send good perceptions to the people in America, that will help the American government to see how the Indonesia is. So, because you are engaged in many activities, like for example, when you are creating your company, your organizations, and also your engagement with so many actors in America, that will create a new perspective rather than they waiting for the information from the government. So this is just to reiterate the importance of the Indonesian community in America to bring the good name of Indonesia in this country. I have 4 pictures. President Ronald Reagan, President of the United States of America. And in my left hand side, with President Obama, do you know him? SBY. What is SBY stands for? Surabaya. Yes? Very good. So he is the former president, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. And the last picture, Donald Trump with Pak Jokowi, the current president of Indonesia. So I give you now the quiz with the last gift.
Ayo. Oh.
From
Habibie.
tapi mbaknya sudah dapat ya. So Habibie is for no, so for this gentleman we can get this one. Very good. Okay. Happy that many of you knows the third president of Indonesia is Professor Habibie. Menarik ya untuk mengetahui pengetahuan teman-teman tentang Indonesia. It's very good. This is very interesting number. Indonesian youth in the United States. This is based on the information from the International Education's institute. So we just found out that the Indonesian students who are studying in America at the moment is in the number 19, around 8,650. So Pak Safrin, Pak Amang, and also for all the parents, this is our own our global task, how to connect them, because we at the embassy do not have the information, do not have the data, because how the only way for us to get the data is for those who are coming to the embassy to do the lapor diri. But this one is coming from the information from the universities. But the university themselves do not give the report to the embassy about how many students from every countries that they have at their university. But we got this figure, and this is really interesting and also very good sign that many of the Indonesian youth are now in the United States studying in so many education institutions. So the next slide will give you the information about the level. At the Southeast Asia, Indonesia is number 2 after Vietnam. Vietnam is the highest, has the highest number of the students who are studying in America. And the first one is Vietnam. They have 24,000 students. And Indonesia is the second one. In 2017, 2018, we have 8,650 students. And the undergrad level is 5,183. While the grad one, it is around 1,500. So it's pretty good, even though we cannot compare ourselves with China, because China is the biggest one with around 400,000. And the challenge now is how to connect them to be engaged together, to bring the Indonesian flavor to their mindset while they are still studying here in America. The future roles. This is, I don't know the roles that you will play for Indonesia in the future. I would be more than willing to hear from you guys what is in your mind that you are going to do for Indonesia in the future.
I'm not young again.
Is there any aspiration, please?
I feel like people are really listening to literally receptive to like food. Like when I bring food in, or like when I have people like try it, they're like, how come I can never find this? Or like, how come I don't know of it? Or like, it's just never, you just never find like an Indonesian restaurant. Like you'll find a lot of like Thai restaurants, like Indian restaurants are like Indian, and they're good. People know it, but it's like Indonesian. Like I never find an Indonesian restaurant. People like it. Like every person who I've like given Indonesian food really like it. But they just want like more of it.
Okay. Other than food, yes.
Well, that's like sharing it, because people don't know like that it like you can share identity too, like just simple stuff like that too. Because I hear people talking about like Indonesia in general, like just things that are easy, like great ways, you know, like it, like to get people to talk about Indonesia is like not easy. To be like, oh, okay, like how are you supposed to talk about Indonesia without something to start the conversation? You can't just kind of say like I feel like we don't talk enough about Indonesia. Like let's talk about it. Like kind of have to make people interested in it in a way that's more simple.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. You want to say
Oh,
something?
no, no.
Okay. When you see this issue that you don't, it is very hard for us to find the Indonesian restaurant here to introduce Indonesian food to the community. Is there any ideas that you would like to bring to this forum?
I'm not sure exactly, but I think that just connects to the issue of representation in general, because if you have those kind of things available to you, it's more of a presence. Like whereas
Okay.
So when you have more of a presence, there's more discussion. So because people, when you say like I'm Indonesian, it's like, oh, I've never met an Indonesian person before. That means like that there's a lack of presence, or there's a lack of people talking about the fact that they're Indonesian. So like I'm not exactly sure what would be, but like I know that when I do say that I'm Indonesian, it does create like a conversation, and then like that's what you were saying about the digital most of it. Like obviously you're in Indonesia, but there's not many of us out there. Like I know that there's coding apps and stuff for students, but I don't know if there's anything that is like very useful for anyone that's like for just kind of like everyone, or like I don't know. I know that there's like info, but I guess just ways to get involved and like it's really a hard question to answer like without a computer. Yeah, no, like it's a difficult question to answer right
Yeah.
now. But I guess like just supporting any businesses that you know that are like Indonesian and that like that espouse like Indonesian values, things like that. So I guess just supporting those people. Like if you know of anyone, like support them financially.
Okay. Thank you. Right. Thank you very much. What is your good name?
My name,
Yeah.
Kia.
Kia. And you live in
I live here.
In New Jersey?
I live 10 minutes away.
All right. Okay.
I live here.
Even in New Jersey, you cannot find the Indonesian restaurant.
I think you have to go to Queens.
You can go, yeah.
You have to go to New York.
Or Philly.
Yep.
Or Philly.
Or Philly.
There's Malaysian restaurants, a lot like you.
Okay.
There's a few Malaysian restaurants, but
Right.
Indonesian.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Yes. Maybe he can use. Maybe you can use this microphone so that everyone will be able to listen.
Preserving the language.
Preserving language.
Because not many Indonesian parents that I've seen when they come over here, I guess they try to speak the language in the household, but the kids don't really seem always appreciate that, or they don't always speak Indonesian back. I think the majority of Indonesian kids, they understand language, but they can't speak it. I was lucky enough to pick the language up when I was a kid, but I think it's important to be able to keep speaking it and keep up, preserving the language so it doesn't fall through. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Oh, that's really loud. Okay, I think one way is for Indonesian clothing, you could just casually wear batik or baju koko, because I think what I notice is like now recently a lot of youth they value like fashion a lot. They have a lot of interest in it. So like if they really like shoes or something, and then they'll look at you, if you like, for example, if you're wearing batik or a sarung in public maybe, and then they'll be like, oh, what is that? And you'll tell them, and it's like part of your culture, and I think they'll respect it, and it'll I think propagate more like cultural appropriation for like American clothing and like Indonesian culture. That's one way, I guess.
So maybe some others wants to share your perspective about your future roles in America.
Wait, can I say like one more thing
Yes,
really
please.
quick? Just connecting with like the family that you have back home is also like a way to preserve the language, because I feel like not knowing or like not being connected to your family or like communicating with your family, that also brings a point of like the communication. Like, so you can use that to practice, like calling and Skyping and things like that. But that's like the only way that I know Indonesian is because my parents don't really speak anything else at home. So just staying with the family and then also like connecting, because like once if you're connected to what things are like over there, you have a very like different view of like how Indonesia is over here
versus like the way it is over there right now. Like if you go back, like if you don't go back in a few years, you will realize that it's completely different. So keeping connected with what's going on over there will help like you to be more connected and like stay connected.
So anyone wants to share more about your aspirations and also your views? And also for the parents, it's open to the parents as well. Pak Safrin.
Nah, saya pikir anak-anak muda sekarang kebiasaan. I think this is the reason why the theme of the Muktamar preserving our identity is we want to make sure at the same times while they are living here, I think there should be a connections between the parents and then the kids. In many programs, that's why in Muktamar we just trying to engage them in a more attractive way with Indonesian cultures. So basically, culture is very important. I think the way they talk. One of the things that we do at home, we speak Indonesia. That's another thing on how to preserve the identity. Not just the language, the way we eat. But that can be also a weakness. When they go out there, they have less interaction with other like more American stuff. Because at homes we speak Indo, we eat Indo, everything's Indo. But I think that's one of the ways of preserving our identity. Because even from IMSA perspective, we want at the same times when they are here, growing up, living, working, being a professional, we don't want to lose their roots, which is their parents are from Indonesia, and then who knows when they grown up, one of them becoming great lawyers or anybody can be a public officials here. That's actually the dream for me and IMSA as an organization.
Thank you. So who else wants to share about your thoughts and views on how to preserve and also to share your cultural identity or Indonesian identity in the United States? We really value your ideas and also your views because that will be even, it will help us, the parents, to formulate any activity also, and also any programs that might be supportive to your ideas and also your views on how to preserve and also to share the Indonesian identity. Remember when we discussed about the perceptions that the Americans and also the foreigners here in America whomever met us at the first time they think about us is always about not Indonesia. It's always about Thailand's, Filipinos, and also about other countries in the Southeast Asia. So we are trying to make we are trying hard to make sure that they understand that we are this kind of the identity is the Indonesia, not also from the way we look, but also from the way we think, the way the way of thinking that we carry on from our root back in Indonesia. So what we have in mind at the moment, just to give you more ideas, is this. We really encourage you to engage more in schools, and so we believe that you have engaged in schools and also in the community to be more active. And every time you have the opportunity to engage with them, bring all the Indonesian identity, of course the good identity of Indonesia to them, so that they will understand that there is a culture in the southeastern part of the world in Indonesia that they can learn from, and also they can be used to with that culture. And also knowledge sharing about Indonesia. As I mentioned before, that all Indonesian here are diplomats. So it is not only my duty as a diplomat to promote Indonesia, because it is impossible to reach out to all segment of the Americans, but we really need your contributions to share about Indonesia in the most proper way. If you talk about Indonesia as a country which is consists of more than 17,000 islands, you could share with them that amongst that islands there are 5 big islands which is very rich in culture and also rich in the natural resources that bring all the history tells us that those natural resources invited the foreign countries to come to Indonesia, and now they have to understand that it is us now, Indonesia, who are stand out to be engaging with them in a more constructive and positive manners. And also this is what we are thinking now at the embassy, how to help you to have the opportunity to engage in the decision-making process at your local and federal government level. So if you look at the composition of the congressmen or also senators in America, there are so many of them are coming from from Vietnam, from China, from Myanmar, from Cambodia, and also from India. We haven't got any, I think, from the best of my knowledge, we don't have yet able to bring Indonesians with the root of Indonesians to be involved in the decision-making process in this country. So we are hoping with you as a diaspora in Indonesia and America, with you who has the culture of Indonesia can be involved in the decision-making process in the local and also at the federal government in America. So with that, I come to the conclusion at the last part of this presentations, of these discussions, that we are trying we are now setting up the ideas to facilitate the internship program for you who are interested to join the internship program at say for example at the congressmen or senators for maybe 2 weeks or 1 month, so that you will be able to engage with them to learn more about America in terms of the decision-making process, and also you can share with them what and how or where Indonesia is, because it is frequently that they call the Indonesian embassy to ask about Indonesia, in which we are trying to help them to understand about our country. But with your knowledge, with your support, that will be even more beneficial for Indonesia to make our country to be more knowledgeable to the people in America. With this, I conclude my presentation and my discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pak Muhammad. And if you have any questions, you can direct them to him later.
So if you have any more questions, I will be very happy to respond and to discuss.
So unfortunately, we do have to wrap up here, but if you would you be willing to talk with other people if they have any concerns?
Sure.
Awesome.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Airnya nggak dibawain malah. Sayang.
Ini ada